Hello, dear audience of Linda. Today is truly a special and meaningful day. Quang and Linda are going together to visit Huang, the young woman who once appeared in Quang's life like a miracle. Many of you probably still remember it was Huang who, without a thought for her own safety, risked everything to save Quang's life in a critical moment. If it weren't for her, Quang might not have the chance to be here today sitting beside Linda and continuing to write new chapters of his life. This visit is not only a way to say thank you, but also a chance for us to reflect on the meaning of kindness, sacrifice, and courage. Will this meeting bring unexpected surprises? Could the bond between Quang Linda and Huang open up a whole new journey? Stay tuned for this emotional story. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next episodes with Quang and Linda. The car rolled along the paved road, streaked with patches of the late afternoon sun. The steady hum of the engine matched the rhythm of Quang and Linda's hearts, carrying a quiet tension. They didn't speak much, but the looks they exchanged were enough to show that this trip carried a special meaning. At the end of this journey was Huang, the woman who once saved Quang's life when he was on the edge between life and death. Quang gripped the steering wheel tightly, his eyes filled with thought. He remembered that moment when he nearly gave up in despair, only to feel a hand pulling him back. That hand was Huang's. Without her, Linda wouldn't be sitting next to him on this ride today. They stopped at a small roadside market. Vendors called out their prices, the air filled with the fragrance of ripe fruit and the sweet scent of local snacks. Linda picked out bright red apples, clusters of juicy longan, and carefully added a few boxes of traditional sweets. Back in the car, she placed the basket on the back seat and leaned against the window, watching the golden sunlight spill over the distant fields. Bamboo groves swayed in the breeze, and the scene brought both peace and a flood of memories. Quang spoke slowly, his voice heavy with meaning. "I've always wanted this day to bring you to meet Huang. I want you to see the person who gave our family a second chance." Linda gently held his hand, her eyes warm with understanding. "I know, Quang. Maybe today isn't just about meeting her. It's also a way for your heart to finally heal. And it's my chance to show my gratitude for both of us." Soft music played in the car, simple melodies blending with the steady hum of the engine. For a long while they sat in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. But both knew this journey was leading them to a new beginning, a moment where past and present would meet, where gratitude would finally be spoken. The road narrowed as they drove into the quiet countryside. Red-tiled roofs appeared, and rice fields stretched all the way to the horizon. Huang lived there in a modest home that Quang had once visited during his hardest days. Looking ahead, Linda's voice was calm but resolute. "No matter what I believe, today will be a memory we'll never forget. Let's go with nothing but honesty and sincerity." The car kept moving forward, carrying not just a basket of simple gifts, but also the weight of deep emotions. On Quang and Linda's faces, nervousness was slowly giving way to trust and hope. When the car stopped in front of the small house tucked beneath a row of bamboo, Quang and Linda both took a deep breath. The door opened. Huang appeared, her hair tied back, her sun-kissed face still carrying a gentle warmth. Seeing Quang and Linda, She froze for a moment, her eyes widening in surprise. In that instant, it felt like time stood still. "Quang, is it really you?" Quang's voice trembled as if she couldn't believe her own eyes. Quang stepped forward, bowing his head deeply, his voice breaking. "Quang, I owe you my life. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here today sitting beside my wife." Quang raised a hand to her mouth, tears welling in her eyes. Linda walked closer, gently setting a gift basket down on the bamboo table by the doorway. "Sister Quang, I'm Linda. I want to thank you on Quang's behalf with all my heart. I know these small gifts don't come close to what you gave him, but please accept them so that we may feel at peace." The moment fell into an emotional silence. The wind whispered through the bamboo, as if only to frame the tears sliding down Quang's face. "You two? This is such a surprise," Quang said softly, her voice unsteady. "Quang, that day, I just did what my heart told me to. If it had been me in danger, I know you would have done the same." Quang held Quang's hand tightly, his eyes full of gratitude. "No, Quang, it wasn't just instinct. It was sacrifice. It was love. Linda and I will carry it in our hearts forever." Linda sat beside Quang, holding her hand firmly. The three of them didn't need many words. Their eyes spoke enough, filling the moment with emotion. Inside the humble home, the scent of wood smoke lingered. Clay jars of rice and salt lined the corner neatly. The setting was simple and modest, yet it held something sacred: human kindness. Quang invited the couple inside. She poured hot tea, her hand still shaking with emotion. Quang lifted the cup, took a small sip, and felt a strange warmth spread through his chest. Linda quietly watched Quang, noticing that her eyes showed not only surprise, but also joy mixed with a touch of shyness. The conversation began to flow, every word weaving their hearts closer together. Quang spoke of the days after he was saved, how he found the strength to rebuild his life and happiness with Linda. Linda shared how she had always wanted to meet the person who gave her husband a second chance, not just to say thank you, but to show it with true respect from the heart. Quang listened, sometimes nodding, sometimes smiling through tears. The house seemed to brighten with their voices, laughter, and emotion filling the space. Outside, the evening sun faded into shades of pink, as if painting the sky to honor this unforgettable moment. After the tears had fallen, the atmosphere inside Quang's small house slowly grew warmer and more familiar. Linda gently placed her hand on the basket of fruit and sweets, opened a box of cakes, and invited Quang to share. The three of them sat around an old bamboo table, laughter mixing with quiet moments of reflection. Quang looked at Quang, her voice warm, but still trembling with emotion. "Quang, seeing you today makes me so happy. I can still remember that moment so clearly. When you collapsed, your shirt covered in blood, I just rushed to you without thinking. I was so afraid I wouldn't be able to save you. But heaven was kind." Quang stayed silent, gripping her hand tightly. His eyes glistened with deep gratitude. Because of that moment, Quang, my whole life was rewritten. You gave me a second chance, and today I'm able to sit here beside my wife. I don't know how I could ever repay you, except by carrying this gratitude for the rest of my life. Linda's heart swelled with respect as she looked at them both. She smiled softly. "Quang, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't even have my husband by my side today. I truly believe the kindness you gave isn't just for Quang. It belongs to our little family, too. Quang's eyes shimmered as she glanced at a photo of her parents on the altar. Her voice softened. My parents always taught me that we should help others whenever we can. I only followed what felt right, but I never thought it would lead to something like this. Outside, bamboo leaves rustled in the wind, sounding like a gentle countryside melody. The modest home seemed wrapped in a special glow, the glow of human kindness. Quang suddenly stood, pulling an envelope from his pocket. He placed it on the table, speaking sincerely. Quang, I know you'll feel hesitant to accept this, but please see it as our heart. It's not to repay you. It's to share and to remind us that in this life, none of us are ever alone. Quang looked startled and quickly raised her hand to stop him. Quang, I can't accept this. I didn't save you to get anything in return. All I want is to see you living well. That's enough for me. Linda smiled gently, her eyes filled with encouragement. Quang, this isn't repayment. It's connection. Please think of us as family, so that in the future we can meet again, not only because of the past, but also to share the present and the future. Hearing this, Quang nodded softly, a tender smile spreading across her face. That smile seemed to light up the entire room. They stayed together, sharing everyday stories. Quang talked about his work, Linda about her dream of building a happy family, while Quang spoke of her simple life in the countryside. Each word, each laugh, wove together a new bond, a tapestry of trust, gratitude, and connection. Before leaving, Quang stood, looked Quang straight in the eyes, and said with emotion, Quang, from today, you're not only the one who saved my life, you're a sister in our family. Linda and I promise to visit often and never let distance weaken this bond. Linda held Quang's hand, smiling warmly. Please think of us as family. No matter what the future brings, your kindness will always be treasured. As the sun dipped low, golden rays touched the old tiled roof. In that moment, the three of them shared an unspoken promise, a vow of gratitude, humanity, and faith that would never fade.